Yo, what up, people? I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a very, very different review. Now, I say it's a very different review from the simple fact that I have slept on this movie and have thought about this movie for pretty much the last 10 hours, I feel like. And right now, I still don't know what I'm gonna give the rating of this movie. So, we guys gonna have to find out together. Go ahead and cue that intro.
We got a problem, 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 it's probably you, yeah, we got a problem, we got a problem, we got a problem, we got a problem, we got a problem.
Yo, what's poppin', people? Cobra Star Green, back with you guys with another video. Look, you guys first time finding my channel, make sure you guys subscribe button. Also like the video. Yes, today I am going to be reviewing one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Ever since I heard what this movie is about, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait for that to come out. And I'm talking about him. We talking about him. We talking about him. I'm gonna be real, y'all. I don't know what I just did. I don't know what that was. That was the boogeyman taking over. That was not me. But yo, let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, this was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. So did I like it? Did I not like it? Well, you guys going to find out. Let's go. Now, first thing, I know this movie is going to have people on different sides. As I was walking out the movie, so many people asked me, Cobra, what's your thoughts? What you think? What you think, Cobra? And literally, I told everybody, I do not know yet. I have to sit and think about this one. But I was talking to everybody else, and people were so on the right side, or they were so on the left side. Then there was not a lot of people in that middle. Everybody's kind of picked their side. And I think it all stems from the ending of the movie. So kind of like, how do you see the ending of the movie? And I'll get into the ending of the movie later into the review, but I think the ending of the movie will make people decisive on this movie. But let's get into this film. So pretty much surface level, what I can tell you guys about the story is what you guys seen. It's pretty much you have this kid named Cameron, and pretty much he's looked up to this guy since he was a kid, very, very young. And something happens to him where he gets the opportunity to work with him, and not only really work with him, but really go into the mind of another character played by Marlon Wayans called Isaiah, and we get to learn the depths of that. Now, like I said, that's all I'm going to say without spoiling something. Is this a football movie? Yes. Do you have to watch football to understand this movie? No. I was talking to people after the movie, and they were like, they saw the movie as going a different way. And like I said, I'm not even gonna say what that is because the trailer and the synopsis of this movie do not mention what probably could allude to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say that at all. I'm just gonna say what the synopsis says on the surface level. But let's get into this movie. First thing I'm gonna start off with is, goddamn, I think, like I said, a lot of people are gonna be indecisive. People are gonna be one way, people go another way. But I'm gonna tell you guys two things that everybody should be on the same page about. First thing I'm gonna talk about, boy, I ain't gonna lie, the imagery in this movie is so well done. Holy crap. Oh my God. I just want you guys to enjoy. I don't even want to say too much about the imagery, but what this movie pretty much represents and how it showcases it, oh my God, it's literally what drags you into the movie. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen a trailer and you're like, oh, that looks good. Oh, what does that represent? What is that? What's that? You know? And the movie shows it on tenfold. This is some of the best imagery I think I've seen in a while for a movie. You know what I'm saying? And that's all pretty much gonna say. I'm gonna keep it to that because I just want you guys to just enjoy that. The next thing I feel like everybody can all be on the same page about is man, look, I think this is probably like one of his first serious roles he's done. But I'll tell you guys right now, I think this is my favorite role from him. And I am talking about, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. I am talking about freaking Marlon Wayans. Oh, it's funny, before seeing the movie, people were talking about how good he was in the movie. And I was like, man, he can't be that good. He's a little man. Scary movie. Boy, was I wrong. Marlon Wayans as Isaiah White in this movie pretty much is phenomenal. I'm going to probably write him down as one of the best supporting actors of the year when I do my awards and stuff like that. He is amazing. I don't think his character isn't that deep, but his performance is. Like, I'm telling you guys, I am so used to freaking seeing Marlon Wayans. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I got introduced to Marlon Wayans come on, freaking Little Man. This is how I got introduced to This is how I got introduced to Marlon Wayans right here, with Little Man. I know y'all like Little Man. Yes, Little Man. This is how I got introduced to Marlon Wayans. And then I saw him in freaking Scary Movie. So I'm like, this is my introduction. This is how I know Marlon Wayans. And to see him completely switch in this movie and just become very serious. Now, he does have his moments where he still brings the comedy to the film. And it actually works, I feel like, because when he brings his comedy, it's more of like unsettling. Like sometimes I don't want to laugh at it, you know? Like I will give you guys kind of an example of what I'm talking about without saying too much. There's moments in the movie where it's like something happens, right? Marlon Wayans might do something stupid or do something crazy. You're like, wow, he really did that in that moment. You're like, okay. Like there was a character that, I'm not even gonna say the character's name or anything like that, but the character ain't got no damn clothes on, right? He's doing a physical. He ain't got no clothes on. And Marlon Wayans says something very unsettling. I was like, okay. I was like, he just said that. Okay. But like I said, the comedy is still there from them. It's just more of dark comedy, I would say. Very dark comedy, I would say. So yes, there's still humor in the movie. But I feel like the humor works. And sometimes it doesn't work because of the fact that there's moments where the tone kind of changes, you know? So I felt like whenever the tone changes, I feel like the comedy doesn't work as much. But I thought early on that the comedy was working beautifully. But like, yeah, all the comedy comes from Marlon Wayans' character. But like I said, it's some dark, unsettling comedy. Now, the next character I do want to talk about until we talk about characters is our main guy. Pretty much the movie revolves around him. Now, I first saw him in a movie earlier this year. And I know this movie was god awful, but I literally thought he was the best thing going for this movie. And I'm talking about Tyreek Withers. I know what you did last summer. Like I said, I thought that was the best thing going for I thought he was the best thing going for that movie. But in this movie, he plays Cam. Now, once I heard he was the main kid in the movie, the main guy in the movie, I was like, oh shoot, yeah, I actually liked him. I know what you did last summer. So to see him here, people asking me what was my thoughts on him. I'll tell you guys, from an acting standpoint, he does great. I will tell you guys like that. He if you got to know any backstory about him, I read this about him actually before I saw the movie. He actually played football. I think at Florida State, correct me if I'm wrong, but he played football. So it's not like they're getting an actor that don't know what he's doing when it comes to like football, because this movie revolves around football. And I'll get deeper into like the football stuff in a little bit. His background, real life, is playing football, like D1 division football. So he knows what he's doing in that aspect. He has the physical shape. I mean, boy, every goddamn scene, every other scene with Tyreek, he's got his goddamn shirt off. We get it. He worked out. You know what I'm saying? He's fit. I was like, God, every damn scene, he got his damn shirt off. I'm like, Jesus. But I'll tell you guys, from an acting standpoint, he did great. I would tell you guys, his performance was very convincing. I would say about everybody in the movie. Everybody in the movie played a really great, convincing performance for what they were trying to accomplish. What I think was a problem was that, all right, let's get into it. I'm gonna get into it. I thought these characters weren't that deep, and it's not the actor's fault. It's more of a writing fault. But I was talking to somebody. That's why this movie will have everybody on different sides. I was talking to people, and they were like, I don't think they were meant to be deep, you know? And I was like, I felt like some of them were though. Like I felt like Cam. Because we more travel through Cam's mind throughout the entirety of the movie. You see how, and this, I'm gonna get deep, y'all, with this. I'm sorry, I'm completely sorry, because I see Cam like as myself sometimes, right? So Cam pretty much, if you guys see him in the trailer, he meets his mentor, or he meets his idol pretty much. He's like, yo, and I've been in that position where I'm like, oh my God, like I finally get to meet you, man. How you doing? But not only does he get to meet him, he gets to pretty much hang out with him, go through the mind of his idol, right? And I was watching this to the standpoint of like, as he's hanging out with Isaiah White, Marlon Wayans, you get to see how creepy this dude is and how far he's willing to go to be called the GOAT and to be great, right? And I was thinking about it myself, because I'm like, well, I don't want to get too deep into it, but like, they could do some crazy stuff, right? And you're like, oh, okay, like, but a normal person do that crazy stuff, and you're like, no, I'm getting the hell out of here. But since it's somebody you look up to, like a mentor or stuff like that, or like a god, I would say, in your eyes, that you would say, you kind of allow it to pass, if you guys can kind of get what I'm saying. Because in a normal thing, this movie probably wouldn't even exist. Right? I mean, there's a lot of plot holes with that, but if this was like a normal person, he'd be like, Cam would be like, yeah, I'm getting out of here. This dude's freaking creepy as hell. But the fact that this dude, Cam, looked up to him is why there's like a pass from like, okay, this is creepy, but I'll stay, you know? So I kind of like saw myself in that. I was like, yo, that right there is very, very realistic. You're allowing to do a pass. You're allowing to pass for something crazy going on. So all this crazy stuff going on, because you're like, oh, if that's what he did to become the GOAT and get to that level, then I must have to do the same thing, you know? So yeah, that's all I'll say on that. I kind of went too deep on that, I felt like, but that's all I'll say on that. But man, I will tell you guys, like I said, from a character standpoint, I thought a lot of these characters just weren't interesting. And like I said, from people told me they thought it wasn't meant to be. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. Another thing about this movie is it is a very artsy film. That means just the way you look at it. Look at the colors. Look at the presentation. Look at the environment. Everything I felt like was just kind of gorgeous to look at, and all represented something. That's all I'll say on that. But very, very artsy film. I know people are gonna ask me about the story. I'll tell you guys. Let's get into some things I didn't like. Then okay, F it, we'll do it. The story I thought was okay. You know, I think the biggest problem with this story is that it's very predictable. So you know, from like 20 minutes in, where this story is going to go and where it's going to end. And I will tell you guys right now, that ending will have people on one side or another, and I'll get into that in just a second. The story here, like I said, is very, very predictable, y'all. It was to the point where I was like, please switch it up at the end. I was like, surprise me, please surprise me, and the movie didn't do it. It didn't. It gave me the ending that I thought it was gonna give me. So I was like, okay, it is what it is. Now, speaking of that ending, how do I feel about it? I will say I thought it missed. I thought it missed. I understand the ending. Okay, it's kind of weird how I'm gonna say this. I get the ending. I very much do get the ending. I'm not one of the people that don't get it. The ending makes sense from beginning to end. It makes sense. I just thought, especially the symbolism and how it was, how the movie was flowing, I thought they would make the ending a lot better. You know, I won't go too deep until the ending of the film, but I was just saying, I was like, I could have wrote that ending. You know, that was the biggest complaint. I was like, I could have wrote that. I was like, no, I don't want to be like, I could write that. You know, I want to be surprised. So watching that ending, I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I thought it would be. You know, I was very underwhelmed watching that ending of the movie. And it was kind of to the point where I was like, I kind of can't wait for this movie to be over, you know? And like I said, those are some of my faults, but I was so enjoying the first half of this movie. The first half of this movie, when Cam gets to meet the guy he's pretty much looked up to, but it's not, and it's funny, because I don't even want to say too much, because it'll be a spoiler. God damn, I gotta do a spoiler review on this movie. I got to. Because he pretty much worships Isaiah White, but there's something deeper with that, right? And like I said, I can't even freaking say it. I can't even say it. I can't even freak. Oh my God, I'm doing a spoiler review so bad. So I'll end with this. Maybe I saw this movie differently because I watched a bunch of trailers for this movie and I saw the poster, I read the synopsis. So I'm like, okay, this is the movie, this is the direction that the movie probably is gonna go in. And after a while, it goes in that direction, but then it kind of goes in another direction also. And I'm not gonna spoil what that other direction is because they don't say it in a trailer, they don't say it and nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I won't say nothing about the direction that it really goes into. I will say maybe that's why I didn't like it as much. You know, I thought, like I said, I thought the first half was a lot better than the second half. You know, the first half, when they just started to know each other, they're starting to work out together, things of that nature, and then everything started to become creepy as it goes along, as they have these days. They have these days kind of like chapters, but they're days, you know what I'm saying? So as each day goes along, things become creepy and creepier and creepier. But it's weird because when they do like these day chapters, it kind of starts off normal and then it goes creepy. You know what I'm saying? But I won't go too deep into that. But I will tell you guys, man, for this being one of my most anticipated movies of the year, I still don't know. Y'all still don't know because there's so much I like and there's so much I didn't like. But look, I will tell you guys, I'll put it like this. It makes me want to go rewatch the film. Like, it makes me want to go instantly buy another ticket and being like, okay, maybe there's some things I didn't get. So let me go rewatch it again. And then boom, cause that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rewatch it again and then do a spoiler review on it. Just so I'm like, okay, cool. I think I fully get this movie. But I'll tell you guys, from a standpoint, look, I absolutely enjoyed this movie. I had a lot of fun watching this movie. I thought the comedy worked well in the movie. I thought the actors did great. Another thing, I thought the soundtrack was done really well. That's something I didn't really bring up earlier, but the soundtrack is really done well because of the fact that the soundtrack does a great job at integrating itself into the film. Like, they're not just playing random songs. They're playing songs that actually make sense on what's going on in the movie. There was just stuff from like a writing standpoint, I thought that just wasn't good, you know, and that will bring down my rating of the film. I thought it's gonna be one of my highest rated films of the year, honestly, but I think I'm going to go with this is tough, y'all, and it's all because of that ending. I just wasn't feeling that ending at all. So I will go, and I've never given a movie this rating before, but I will go with a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, I definitely enjoyed it. I had fun watching it. People I was there with, they really enjoyed it. You know, I just wished it was better. And that's maybe because I was just looking too forward to the movie. And I think maybe that was my fault. I think I might have watched too many trailers. I was just too hyped for this one. So the fact that when I saw it, I kind of felt underwhelmed just a little bit. So maybe that's me. But like, yo, look, y'all first time finding my channel, hit the subscribe button, like the video. It's funny, I was trying to stay in the middle as much as possible instead of like drifting to one of the other sides, because I really couldn't drift to one of the other sides. I really had to just stay in the middle. But I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. Did you guys see the movie? Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? Let me know. Y'all first time finding my channel, subscribe, like the video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.